Issue 178. Knuckles isn't happy about the idea of pressing the button to eject the Chaos Emeralds, since the island would fall, and it'd be the exact opposite of what a Guardian would do. And Porker reasons that if Chaos were to finish absorbing them, it would fall anyways. So Knuckles presses the button despite the fear power affecting him. Grimer tells Eggman that the Emeralds are shooting across the planet and are pursued by Chaos. All of them at once by him? I guess Chaos split into 7 to follow all of them, since they tend to not be together right next to all of each other when they're shooting across the planets. Eggman thinks this is a great opportunity, and after he tells Amy what he did, Knuckles falls to his knees saying he's failed at his life's work, and there's no point going on, putting his hands over his eyes. This is good writing, having him have a moment of vulnerability and be sympathetic over a failure instead of not caring. Knuckles tells them all that he wants to stay on the island, thinking that there's nothing left for him to live for anymore. And surprisingly, no one responds to this properly before a rumbling starts to happen as the island starts falling. I guess they were distracted by the rumbling, but you'd think Amy would be yelling at him not to talk like that since they already lost Johnny. Amy approaches Knuckles while holding something and says that she can persuade him otherwise. And we cut to Knuckles sitting in the tornado behind her as the island sinks completely into the sea. Oh good, this is actually explained. Amy says that she had hit him over the head with an iron bar to knock him out, which let everyone save him. And I guess that's in character for the spunky, sassy Amy to respond to that kind of thing with violence instead of just talking, because he didn't really have much time. And Knuckles self-awarely admits that he went a little crazy back there, thanking her for what she did. It's kind of weird, all of the Sonic characters have differently colored eyes in Fleetway. Amy's got brown eyes and Knuckles has blue. It is an alternate universe though, so they're allowed to switch some things up. After Amy says she was in too much of a hurry to try to reason with him, the story ends with Sonic optimistically reassuring his friends out of nowhere because he's suddenly magically cured of his grief and self-blaming off-screen. That felt cheap. It's like they only did it to have an interesting title page for last issue. Nigel Kitching wrote the story, which was about Knuckles pressing a button to eject the emeralds to the four corners of Mobius, forcing Chaos to go after them, and Eggman decides to look for them as well, and then Amy has to knock Knuckles out to make him escape the island with her, since he was despairing about failing in his duty by pressing the button, even though that was the opposite of failing if you think in the long term. Right after Knuckles has his biggest moment of vulnerability, Sonic magically recovers from his self-blaming depression, mourning Johnny out of nowhere in the span of one issue because kids comic, before we could get anything really done with the idea of the Freedom Fighters without Sonic around because Sonic kinda had a breakdown. I guess he realized because of his ego that his friends need him as a bodyguard, but that's quite a change from wanting to protect them from himself.